Hey guys, bad rant alert, bad rant alert. I hate going anywhere near anything to do with the Middle East. It's just stuff that Australia is blessed to be a long way from wars and death, and for the most part, Australians are we are the luckiest country on earth in that regard. But sadly, we've had it brought to our doors with, obviously, everyone saw the Bondi massacre. For me, any event like that drives me spare, because when I got involved in that IBAC investigation in Victoria against one of their own, a prison officer, right? And Officer Rock was not having that, right? Who is this twit? This loony caliph, like literally just rock ape Neanderthal stuff from some of the higher officers of the admitted, like Magistrate Pappas admitted it. It's the police, you know who's been harassing you with like that weaponized AI bot tech in and out of prison. Well, it's the police, like it's on record. You can hear it. You can hear Magistrate Pappas make full admissions. That's how arrogant the corruption is in Victoria. You can hear Magistrate Pappas, and hopefully you all will. We'll go through it together once the court transcripts arrive. We can go through them together, and I'll document. I'll give you every single example of my both occasions under the Melbourne Drug Court, where at least it was documented in through the court transcripts. And if that's changed in any way, my God, well, the corruption will be running next level. But that aside, we have this Bondi massacre. I know for a fact, and we have the fact that this guy was on the radar. He was, oh my God. Victoria Police even made boasts about it to their mainstream media mates. Look, we'd rather be looking at it than for it. Because as a lot of you will know, when I told them and their police informing drug dealer friends to go and F themselves, so what they were doing, they were poking me with AI bot tech, and then I'd tell it to go and stuff themselves. It started in a prison cell, right? So it's pretty aggravating when you've been locked in a jail cell and you had this little AI bot trying to do your head in, and then you come out, and then what they do is, so you go to get your car transferred into your name, so a corrupt police officer intercepts your car, installs a head unit or wherever they put the surveillance equipment in the car, and they lie to the mechanic, I'm getting the transfer papers done. In Victoria, you've got to pay for a roadworthy certificate. It's got to go through a mechanic, so you pay. But the police were there, and the corrupt police officers, and they intercept it, and they do whatever they want to do, and the mechanic has a little chuckle on the way out because he's privy to it, and your car's been compromised. Well, what they were doing is using the same head-doing bot technique that they were using on me in a Victorian prison cell. They were using it in things like my car and whatnot. So I'd tell them to go and F themselves. I knew how corrupt they were. I would give it to them. I would say if they weren't breaking law. There's no such thing as good criminals and bad criminals. In fact, if you're a criminal police officer, like the members of Victoria Police were to orchestrate what they were doing to me, and the Magistrate Pappas, you're a criminal. There's no such thing as good criminal, bad criminal. So what I would do when they were abusing their surveillance equipment, I'd tell them to go and F themselves. Well, there was nothing they could do about that. They couldn't exactly go, hey, this guy's like breaking the law, telling us to go and F ourselves. So they would make it public. They would use their informants, drug-addicted informants or drug-dealing informants to help make it public. And they would poke me with the AI bot and make it, which is completely illegal in itself. But what it led me to was a decade-long harassment campaign by corrupt police officers that a magistrate, the sister, Magistrate Pappas, you can all hear it on the my drug court, FOI, drug court transcripts. So it was no secret. They were that arrogant about their corruption, they made boasts about it. They're like, yeah, you can't do anything about it, ha. Yet, in that corruption, I'm exposed to the amount of resources that Victoria Police spent, corrupt members of Victoria Police, spent on Operation Harass a Dog, Michael Califf, and the Magistrate Pappas and the Melbourne Drug Court team were all aware of it. They're saying, what can you do about it? Ha. Now when we see things like we see in Bondi, it makes me sick to the back teeth. Because here's these people, I've said this before, Victoria Police, with all the years of harassment on Michael Califf, which involved physical eyes on me 24/7, involved driving around with a little stalker following me, breaking surveillance law after surveillance law to get at me, like installing surveillance equipment boastedly without any warrants, just putting surveillance equipment in my TVs, putting surveillance equipment here, and then boasting about it. They could have saved one life. One life could have been saved. One Jewish citizen, one terrorist could have been prevented. One Lise Magalia, I forget her name, sorry. One, that lovely young girl who got killed in St Kilda could have prevented one life. One life. Elsa Bell or whatever her name is. Sorry, I forget the name. But my point is, the corrupt members of Victoria Police who spent and Magistrate Pappas from the Melbourne Drug Court, who boasts about it being the police in court transcripts, could have, using the resources they spent just harassing me, don't forget that, not preventing drug dealing, like the worst, that's the worst part. Or not the worst part, it's one of the worst parts. They were using drug dealers to get at me. They were turning blind eyes to bags, what they call a quarter pound. So 4 ounces of meth that I'm well aware of. They well and truly had surveillance equipment in the house, and this a big enough fish walked into my house with 4 ounces of methamphetamine. Turns out that big enough fish was an informant and was helping them. But you see what I mean? How can you know this? You know what I know. These scumbags that exist in the higher offices of Victoria Police, no doubt in New South Wales as well. Basically, you know how it works. They want to waste resource after resource. You all saw it too with the buzzing. So when they deviated a $10,000 an hour helicopter to go and buzz the media when they were doing a report on how ridiculous it is having police cars driving around with graffiti all over them during a pay dispute, just nonsense. So when it got to the stage where people were beginning to go, this is ridiculous. We land in Victoria and we see our police cars with graffiti written all over them. People started getting annoyed at that. And so they were doing a media release on it. Well, the bullies in Victoria Police were not happy with that now, were they? So someone in those higher officers said, righto, you get that helicopter over there. No, don't buzz Califf today. Get it over there and buzz Heidi Murphy, will you? So my point is, you all saw the wasted resources on bully boy tactics from the dodgy members of Victoria Police. Well, picture that times quazillion when they used it to harass me with all that sisterhood. It was all baloney, right? All just harassing Michael Califf and me, telling them to go and F themselves because I knew they were breaking the law. Now, combine all that Combine those wasted resources with what you just saw unfold in Bondi. It is sickening, mate. Absolutely sickening that people paid as much as $500,000 a year. Shane Patton was paid $500,000 a year, and that means some of those higher ranked homicide squad, you know, like the big bully boy ones you saw doing the homicide squad, the bail app on Pusey, and that'll be $250,000. That'd be a minimum $250,000. They're getting paid $250,000 a year to waste public money on Neanderthal like bully boy tactics. You can't be angry enough at that. It's sickening. While Victoria's crime stats are the worst ever. Hello? We need that Royal Commission into all things Victoria corruption, Victoria Police corruption, and quickly.